Versus number 2, the same chorale by Walther, the same author. So versus number 1 in the previous analysis. Now versus number 2, Ach Gott vom Himmel sei der Rhein. This is my ghost. Yeah, I mean, you mean your ghost is writing. Okay, this is the your ghost. Okay. Ghost counterpoint. Good. Now, versus number 2. Mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, pom, pam, 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 pam. So this opening is very interesting because it's in the style of the violoncello, cello style, or viola da gamba style. Many times in those compositions which are a bicinium, we can find this because it can be played with the viola da gamba on the organ, or even the bassoon. Now, anytime you have to say that register, the name of the stop, it's only a trouble in English because we say fagotto in Italian, but I don't remember what kind of bad words is in English, if it is fagot or fagot. I don't remember. I mean, you got it. It's the bassoon, fagot, fagot. You got it. Now I don't remember what is what. You got it. Now, so let's put the register stop. I'm talking about this fagot, I guess, with the accent on the ot. So this is the first. Where is it? Where is it? Trumpet. Do I have it? No, maybe here. No. If I have it, should be on this keyboard. So no. I don't have it. But we can put another thing. For example, the dulcian. This one. Bassoon. Yes. Yeah. Okay. But in Spanish is Spanish. In German, it has another. Even another name. It can be used in English. But it's the language. This translation. Okay. Good. And in the right hand, we have the chorale. So something more cantabile. The bassoon is very nice because these leaps. Here. This way. Okay. Now, at the beginning, the first phrase of the chorale. Mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi. Even this style. La, la, sol, fa, mi. These appoggiaturas. La, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, do, tra, rin, ti, ran, ton. This is very cello. Fa, mi, re, do. And what can we notice? How is this section built? Mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi. This is the imitation of the chorale. Then this melodic unit is repeated one more time, arriving to the leading tone. We could continue, to make a cadence to C major. And the right hand joins, but in a way that is not the same exact thing. I mean, we don't have the chorale with long notes as in Cantus Firmus because it's a bicinium. Mi, and the first phrase, mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi, is repeated. Mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi. Why? Because in this bicinium we have much more freedom in the development of the Cantus Firmus. In the previous one, we had the organ motet style. So 3 voices or 4 do the imitations of the big incipit of each phrase, and then the long Cantus Firmus notes. Here, we have a bicinium, so even the repetition can be allowed. Then a bicinium, so there is an interaction with the bass, imitation. Mi, fa, mi, re, la, la, sol, fa, mi, re. Like a little canon, eh? Canon, and we don't care so much about the downbeat at all, because here is starting on the first beat, here on the third beat, so this can be done. Then, pa, pa, pam. Something more to notice, even with complex counterpoint and imitations like this, many times parallel thirds, 3, 3, 3 are the very basic structure. With appoggiaturas, and we know that they are appoggiaturas because 4, 3, 4, 3 in counterpoint. Then sol, fa, mi, re is the chorale. And what's going to happen? Where is this sol, fa, mi, re, sol, fa, mi, re? Sol, fa, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, sol, fa, mi, re. So sol, fa, mi, re. And even before, sol, fa, mi, re, 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 do, oh, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, fa, mi, re. So we have the first part with two clear and distinct sanctions. And we can even notice something more. Sol, fa, mi, re. So this section is anticipating what's going to follow. Okay, let's play it again. Mi, fa. In general, I wouldn't play this so fast. A little more slower, even because here there's not so much reverb. In a church there is a reverb, and even because this way we can make the trills and the ornamentation sounds better. Even because ta is very heavy, the intention of this appoggiatura. Fuck. Now, next phrase, let's see the second part. Sol, la, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol. Now there is something interesting. So what's the meaning of this? Probably two different editions, two different passages. Fa, sol, la, mi, fa, sol, la. So if we compare the phrase of the chorale, is sol, la, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So will be much more coherent to follow the little note path. And then to attach the cadence. Something very important in this style for the left hand is the cadence in the Bicinium style, this way. The cadence before the entry of the new phrase of the chorale, of the other voice, something that happens even here. So this element is consistent in the following sections. So, sol, la, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, la, mi, fa, sol, do. Notice how this can almost sound parallel octaves, but it is not. Let's continue. Here. And fa sol la, the chorale is completed in this point. Re, fa, sol, la, sol, la, fa, mi. Another element to notice is that the chorale starts with only the beginning, like if it starts a phrase sol, la, fa, mi, imitations, la, sol, fa, sol, mi in the bass, sol, la, sol, fa, sol, mi, and only then the third time continues without stopping. So there's a dialogue. When we want to improvise these things, we can recreate this dialogue, even with rest, because a Bicinium is not difficult, because there's no counterpoint here. I mean, there are rests. Why? Because of the dialogue. And then it continues moving down in parallel thirds. This is the technique, parallel thirds. La, sol, fa, sol, mi, sol, la, fa, mi, re, fa, sol, la. And as you can see, we don't have a regularity in the Cantus Firmus. It's not so firmus, this cantus. So firmus means plain. It's not so plain with longer values because it's a Bicinium, so there's a lot of elaboration. Sol, the structural notes are sol, la, fa, mi, re, fa, sol, la, this way. La, sol, fa, sol, la, parallel sixth, so parallel thirds. Parallel sixth. La, sol, fa, sol. This way there's an imitation. And mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, do, mi, fa, mi, fa, sol, do, and cadence to G, ut. And then the phrase has finished, because then we have the new one. So let's play again this section. again, the thing with the cadence. The cadence, here it is. Let's highlight this thing of the cadence with orange in all these cases. Cadence made with only the bass and cadence to E minor. Now, we should expect a new phrase. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re. And the new phrase is do, re, mi, fa. I don't remember it. Let's see. Here it is. The phrase ending with the cadence. So, a step higher, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, re, do, re, mi, fa, re, do, re. Do, re, mi, fa, re, do, re. So we can see do, red. Do, re, mi, fa, re, do, re. The notes of the chorale. And is there an imitation? No, this is an imitation of what precedes. Sol, la, sol, fa, sol, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, do. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re. Here is the imitation. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re. In the other hexachord, very important. Re, la, re, featuring the cadence. Okay, now let's see what follows. Very short. Why? Because we're going to approach the last phrase. And the last phrase will start with re, la, fa. And so from this point, re, la, fa, this belongs to the following phrase. And we should expect a cadence before the Cantus Firmus, the chorale in the right hand. Indeed, we have it. Pa, pum, 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 pum. Too low for me. Pa, pum, 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 pum. Okay. So very simple transition with a cadence to E minor. The gain that we can see with the voices is, so first of all, in counterpoint 6 and 10, la, fa, re, sol, la, fa, ending with a 6 and imperfect consonants, and these, the two notes, tan, ta, ta, tan, tan, ta, ta, tan, and the trill, this. They are, it's an anticipation of what's going to happen in the soprano, of course. Here we can start the trill in a slower way, so and after the opening, what follows is very similar to re, la, this. Let's use this color. Sol, la, so, ta, mi, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, mi, re, do. These bars. So the opening is different because it's the imitation of the new phrase of the chorale. But then it represents the cadence we had here. Yes. Parallel thirds, always the thing that always work. Parallel thirds always work. Now the question is, what about this last phrase? First of all, in that case, I wouldn't put an octave, but an octave for foot, but a flute for foot in general. And why we have three voices at the end? Probably just an effect to make the ending stronger. Re, do, mi, re, mi, do, re, mi, re, ta, 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 ta. I don't recognize any melody arriving from the chorale, of course, besides the final note of the chorale, re, la, fa, sol, fa, mi. But what is very important is that we have the chorale melody, in a very free way, following the Cantus Firmus principle. Re, la, fa. I mean, not like Cantus Firmus, but with imitation. Re, la, and elaboration. La, fa, sol, la, sol. Re, la, fa, sol, la, sol. La, sol, fa, mi. And only after that, it's like if the last section can be played on a third keyboard that I don't have, with other two stops, and they are the ending. And we can recognize the ending, the different style of the last section, because it's Cantus Firmus with another voice. Fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi. So it's like if the last section can be played on another keyboard, because it's ending the chorale with the Cantus Firmus in a triple time, making it short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, like the passage from the duple to triple time once. And the bass. Fa, sol, la, sol, fa, fa, mi, mi, pa, 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 pam, 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 pa, pam, 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 pa. It's a regular ending, it continues, the bass continues with the same pattern. It reminds to me the basse de Cromorne in the French style. Okay, let's play again the last phrase from here. This way. And now let's play the entire chorale from the beginning. Re, la, fa, sol, la, fa, mi, re, tan, 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 tam. I mean, the pad is very far, right? It's very small, so I should take another music stand. I have it. I have one model. I found one model very nice, but I don't have it yet. Fa. Okay, and so let's finish here because the screen in front of me now is black because the monitor went in entered the standby mode. Probably have to change something in the settings, so I don't know what's happening on the computer because the computer is there. And we'll continue our discovering this chorale in other in other setting by other authors in the next videos. For example, I've selected some collection, Walther, Pachelbel, which is quite different in the style. Buxtehude with more pedal, not this, but Buxtehude can be. Let's see, there are two books and even Bach, Bach chorales. Bach, Buxtehude, Walther, and Pachelbel. I could even add something else like Bohm. If there is a collection of chorales, I'll check it. We are not talking about choral partitas, not variations, but these very little preludes, elaborations. Now, chorale preludes, Buxtehude, here is Buxtehude, the first part. So, Buxtehude, no, it's not this book, it's another one. Here, Ach Gott. But it's not Buxtehude, wait. It's Walther again. Ah, because it didn't open what I wanted. Okay, Ach Gott, let's see. Yes, we have an Ach Gott, but it is not that Gott. No, it seems that no, Buxtehude, we don't have this version by Buxtehude. Pa 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 pam pam pa pa pam pam. So we'll take another version by Bach. It can be, let's see, Bach can be from not the organ book line, but these choral preludes. Many of them are attributed to Bach. We don't have this chorale, okay, in this collection, but in the other collection, in the Neumaster collection, we should have it. And the Neumaster collection is here. We should have it. Let's see. Ach Gott, yes, this one, 714. And Ach Gott is number 13. So this is the next one we'll study, number 13. Before 11. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I mean, I expected something more complex, but we don't have to underestimate this. This in the next video, the next streaming. And it would be interesting to discover how to play this, to play it in that way, or we can add something else, we can add some diminutions, but then there is the chorale here, then the chorale here, so it's an organ motet, seems to be, with a lot of imitations. Let's see, let's discover this in the next streaming, so now we have to go to the computer to stop this. To make mistakes is human. To learn from them and persist, that's the way of a musicus practicus. Whether your musical goal may be, there is a secret formula to reach it. And no, it's not a magic trick, it's something much more concrete. Perseverance in good things. If you study every day, if you learn even just one small thing every day, you're moving forward, always. And one day, after a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years, you look back and realize you have become a different musician, step by step, without even noticing it. That's the spirit of a musicus practicus. That's why every day on Patreon I share new content to help you learn something new every day, support you on your path of study, inspire you with fresh ideas and new musical perspective. One day we talk about musical rhetoric, another day I post an exclusive video on improvisation, and another day an article on Renaissance counterpoint, and so on. Don't miss this opportunity. The choices you make today will shape the musicians you'll become tomorrow. Join the Musicus Practicus community, join us on Patreon, and with a small monthly contribution you'll also be supporting this great global educational project. Go to the link, choose the contribution you want to give, and start learning every single day. To make mistakes is human. To learn from them and improve every day, that's the way of Musici Pratici.